and welcome to Off the Stage. It's the show where we take musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world. We're back at the Isis pub. I'm James Berry. This is Conor Michael, and today we are joined by the Voyd. Nice, easy name to get right.
Still get it wrong. A lot of people spell it wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that like a deliberate thing to spell it like Voyd?
Happened and went down London.
Yeah, well, I used to do things. It was a bit more aesthetically pleasing when you look at it, but it was a bit better. Like if you type in the Voyd, like a load of different stuff would probably come up, so
yeah.
I thought it'd be a little bit different. But we played a gig down London, the Water Rats, and the pub Voyd, so.
Yeah, so there's been a few people.
Oh, I saw that.
I was going to say, when I try to find you on social media and I type the Voyd, because I'm going Voyd anyway, there's loads of other ones turn up.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you ever find that kind of complication of people
really,
trying to find us?
Our tunes are better than all theirs anyway, so.
There's a few other things called the Voyd with a Y.
Yeah.
Like on Twitter and stuff.
Bits and bobs, but we'll put a stamp on it where we can claim the copyrights.
Absolutely, get there first.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you guys drinking?
I can't pronounce it.
I think it's called Staroprom.
Staroprom. I was called Star Oaks, I can't say it properly.
Starwell.
They didn't have Guinness, so it's...
It's all settled with that.
Ones don't have Guinness, do they?
No.
It's fucking weird,
They're
that
lodging
It's
a formal
strange,
complaint.
I've had too much this week. Took a residency in an Irish bar and I've never left.
What are you drinking?
Well, we always get like a mystery drink.
Mystery
That
drink.
looks heavy, that
It's a mystery drink, the Barman's Plus.
I'm assuming it's peach kind of thing.
It is a sour.
Is it like an IPA, is it?
It's like a sour, which is like a fruity.
They'll have a pass around.
I got the same one because I quite like the look of
It's
it.
really refreshing.
Yeah. Guess
So kinda
the
like-
flavour.
It's a bit fruity for me, that, like.
Oh, it's nice.
Citrus,
that,
I knew you
Yeah.
would like it.
That is quite nice, to be fair.
There's like a
Oh.
mango kind of to it.
Yeah, I think it's
I thought you were going to take a second drink. Drink it out into the bottom.
so this is it's called Tutti Frutti,
Okay.
and apparently it's a banana sour.
I thought
with
it
a
was
few of it.
actually.
I got a bit of after
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird one to put in, like a fruity banana's like it's like a milkshake kind of thing in it.
Is it strong? What percentage is it?
I should have checked that, shouldn't I?
Enough to have two. So, who are you guys to the band? We're going to go around and be like, what you do, what your names are, etc.
So I'm Calvin. I'm the front man. Play rhythm guitar and vocals.
I'm Josh, played bass and fart a lot.
I'll play the drums, and I also fought a lot.
Yeah, I'm James, I play the lead guitar. No comments on the fart.
It's a risky thing when you're in a band, isn't it?
Especially if you're
In front of the drummer.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for the drummer, just back-winded.
He's normally walking around as I
In our
have to
setup,
push him away.
in our rehearsal room, we all face the drummer, so probably a subtle reason as to why we'll probably do that.
Yeah.
I think Summers probably gets most of them.
There's no windows.
He's near the exit, isn't he? That's the only draft going that way.
So
It's like a suction towards you.
Downstairs, no windows, dark, dingy room.
Best
like,
ones.
so-
Yeah.
Stinking up.
whereabouts do you practice?
It's just round the corner from me. Well,
Nice,
it's not
Niles
too-
Miles
Street.
Street.
Yeah, Nile Street near Hendon.
Oh,
Just down from Templin in the town.
What's it called?
I don't think it just has it. It's just literally just like a normal building
A
house.
couple of the bands
Those
was
two
to
renters,
rent
yeah.
Dachshunds.
Oh yeah, I know.
Dead Wet Things. Like
Yeah.
there's a few different bands in the building.
Yeah.
So
Did you like rent it out? Do you? Is that like?
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
So I just shunned away down in the basement, like so.
Yeah.
It's spot on though. It smells a bit, but it's alright.
Yeah, it's a good room.
Can he dump?
I was gonna say it sounds like
There was a
bunker.
wall and he just patched up with wood, didn't he? He come down one day and he just put like a bit of plywood across there. You got lads sorted.
Shout out to Keith.
Shout out to Keith. Oh, I forgot about that.
So what kind of like category or genre would you guys say you fit in?
Normally when people ask that question, we say indie rock, but a lot of people put us like under alternative as well. So I think we take a lot of like our inspiration from loads of different bands, kind of put it into the tune as such, and then like I don't know, like we try and have our own sound by picking little bits from everyone
Yeah.
and doing our own thing. I think like because like normally when we're writing like if we're writing a tune like for you know like not as a band, like say for example if I've got my acoustic guitar in my house and I get like an idea for a song, then I'll take it to these and then we're like all put our heads together, and then what I brought to the lads was completely different from what I thought it was going to be. So then we all put out like all our chip in.
That's
like when someone says like, "Oh, do you like the song?" It's like, well, now we all do in a way, like, you know, to like a group effort kind of thing.
Best way to have it, because obviously you'll have a guitar player whose influence is a little bit different from yours, so he'll take something else from the song.
And there's been loads of times when I've had an idea for like a kind of a riff or a solo, then I play it as soon as someone's just like, well, what about this? Like, oh, that's a lot better than what that's a lot better than what I thought.
I was going to say, what would be your individual influences? So what would make you different to you and you different to you, etc.?
I don't know, because Summers has got this kind of like Johnny Marr-esque kind of like inspiration kind of playing.
That's down as a Johnny Marr-esque.
And plus his fingers, like you can play like on the like on F chords, like the first fret.
It's not normal, like. It's not normal. Just stretch your hands.
Oh, look at that. That's a proper guitar with hands. That like
Born to be playing guitar, like it's mental. It's like if you're playing certain things, like you sound like there's like 3 guitarists playing, but it's just him playing with like all of his brilliant fingers.
I was just watching him spread his hands there. Sorry, completely zoned out.
Put it away now.
How long have you been a band for then? You just got quite like a new.
Well, we released our first single on Spotify in 2017. So we recorded 3 singles at a recording studio called Pamplemousse, which was in Sunderland. I don't know if you've heard of a band called Vanderbilt from Sunderland.
Yeah, no, Vanderbilt.
Jordan from Vanderbilt.
Jordan.
He was like running that Pamplemousse, and we recorded with him. And one of like our first track that we probably released was called Out of Control, and we released that in 2017. But it was just after then when we kind of got out that like little kind of like sound that we had, where we're like a little bit not boxed in, but like we had this kind of like Arctic Monkeys-esque kind of approach to the songs. And then I think I found my voice a little bit. We all found our like kind of sound, and then we kind of just took it from there.
It's hard when you like. Especially if other people are comparing you to bands who are already famous and stuff, because you don't want to sound like someone else who's obviously already made it with that sound.
Exactly.
You want your own little thing.
Yeah, exactly. We always say that, like it's like a lot of people like. I mean, it's weird because like a lot of like what I get like when I'm out and about, and like people like bump into us who like know like the band, and they'll say like oh my little one loves you. It's like the 4 or 5 year old like loves like our music and stuff and wants to come and see us live, and I get that quite a lot as well. Right. And then like to the older generation, like older people are saying like they're just like, oh no, we really like your music and our age as well. So it's good to have like a diverse, like good range of like people who enjoy our tunes. Do you know what I mean? So
do you ever find an age limit being an issue at live gigs?
Nah, not at all. Like, well, only because 9 times out of 10 when we play gigs, they're like over 18 restriction on the venue anyway. So, but if there wasn't, we'd probably get like quite a lot of. We played Sun Calling, not last weekend, but the weekend before. And
quite a lot of kids at the front row.
Yeah, there was loads of like kids at the front row. There was like people come up, was like afterwards like saying, "Oh, can my son get a photo with you?" And then like, I was talking like the dad saying like, "Oh, we've been big fans of music." So it's a good like diverse range, and I think that's what you need as a band as well. Because if you just get like one age group, you're kind of like stuck in a bit of a rut with it. So.
That's pretty good. Decent little venue that I know, like festival. Sorry, Sun Calling.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
A few good bands on.
Yeah, from the generator getting pinched the night before,
and
then it went out.
That's a bit of a
completely. So I hit my floor tom, and they just cut out, and the blocks sprinted across.
About to play.
And then that's the only generator they got, because the night before they reversed in and tore the other one away.
So the whole festival was down for about 25 minutes or something.
Really?
Even the bars
longer than that, wasn't it? It felt longer.
It was a squeaky bum time.
You weren't very happy, Carl, were you?
Oh no, I was sitting backstage just because we'd been rehearsing quite a while, been tuning our set list and everything. So I was just sitting there like
seconds before.
I was like literally, we were just like halfway through our sound check, like people like chant, because we've got a bit of a chant, like I didn't even know where it came from, but our fans tend to chant up the void, up the void, up that kind of thing. So people were chanting that when we were on stage, and I was probably like getting like ready for the gig. I think, oh, it's gonna be unreal, and like it was proper teasing, because then next thing, like when Ali hit his floor tom and then everything went out, my guitar wasn't on. I was thinking, what's going on here? So we were sitting backstage, and I was thinking like, this is an absolute nightmare, because I was proper looking forward to it as well. I was.
Probably got a button running though.
Did they give you still like the same time, just delayed it a little bit?
They did see it too, but I think out of like kind of like, you know, we didn't want to cut into it, because we were like the last support act on before the 3 headlines.
Right,
so we like kind of out of like, not I was going to say the word generosity, because it sounds like we're doing them a favour, but like out of like just politeness really, like doing like other artists a favour. We cut a couple of songs out of set list, but still
they didn't specifically tell us to though.
Yeah, we just kind of said
we'll do already half an hour over the time limit. Let's just blast it and go.
It's the thing with like time limits in it. It's just because it's not necessarily like running over. It's the last act, because you've obviously especially with an outdoor festival, they'll have like some sort of cut-off point where they're not allowed
exactly.
for like names and stuff.
That was it. Well, loads of people like texts us ringing and saying like, what's happening? It's like, I can't be asked to text you all back. I mean, I'd see my dad like, just because I was like, the way like we're standing near the backstage bit, like with the stairs to go on the stage, I see my dad going like, what's happening? I walked over and I went, I was just like, like the generator's gone, so what's that? And then like everyone's like, hey, do you hear that generator's gone? Like, no man, I was telling him, not everyone else.
Word spreads.
Yeah. It was good though, because apparently like my girlfriend's dad, he texted saying apparently that like the build up to it all like was like, because we came on then went off the build up, like everyone was like thinking like what's happened to the build up, kind of made our set that better where we're
that's a good point.
Like, kind of things like a bit of a one end of to the other, so good.
Yeah. At least he's got through it. Like, it's one of them as long as the crowd aren't against you.
Yeah, exactly.
You want them kind of rooting for you.
By the time we were on stage, everyone knew what the problem was anyway, because it's pretty widespread. So.
We've got a section called Just Ask James, and basically James goes on Reddit and finds some problems from musicians, and you guys have kind of got to solve the problem.
Right.
Okay. So what we got?
Oh, this one is, well, the guy's deleted his user, so it's user/deleted. But
it was there last week, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. Get a lot of deleted ones. But so the dilemma is here, guys. The title is getting absolutely no Spotify streams. Why? Music shite. We'll try and answer this. So I'm a musician, so have music on Spotify, naturally. I advertise the crap out of my songs and constantly release them. I have a decent amount of followers on the socials, and my music is really, really melodic, detailed, and a lot of people often compliment my musical skills. So despite all these, how come I get squat when it comes to streams on Spotify? Last year, for one song, I received 4 listens. 4! That means even my friends and family aren't supporting me. Oh, bless him. I don't get it, because I do everything and more. The amount of people I follow on Insta that have maybe 300 followers and yet have thousands of streams for one of their songs, it baffles me. These particular musicians are all amateurs too, which tells me I should at least be getting a few hundred streams for my own songs. Is there a fault with Spotify maybe? Hoping someone can help, as it's been this way for years and I feel like I've reached a dead end. Oh, I feel quite... I thought that was going to be quite a funny one, but I feel...
Every family don't even listen to it.
The answer is there's no help in it. No. I don't know, because the thing is, like, we've never been really blessed with like these big playlists and stuff that people get on. So like a lot of, well, I'd like to think a lot of our listeners tend to be like through organic, like us just pushing them, but we do a lot of like, when we first like started doing like the proper like tunes as such, like in 2018, we were doing like music videos, so we were like putting like a lot of money into the band, kind of thing as well, because I think sometimes you can put a face to the name, it does help your band a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
A bit like an image as such as well, but that was like our kind of main thing when we started releasing videos. We were getting like a lot of shares, because we've done like our videos where we're just kind of like walking about like within like in Sunderland, so like we'll get like landmarks in Sunderland and then it got shared, and then like people from Sunderland like thinking, oh, like, oh, I recognise this, and so they were like sharing it like because the new rural local. So we got a lot through that, and then Twitter helped us a lot, because we just kind of, you need to be very vocal on Twitter sometimes when you're like trying to get your name about a bit, like just commenting on certain things.
It was lockdown Twitter for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say there. Lockdown helped a lot, because like people were doing listening parties. So like, well, I mean, we haven't been on, but Timber just started it with the listening parties, kind of thing up with the album listens. And then Dan Potter, he like done DP Happy Hour, and he helped us a lot, because like essentially what he does is he gets different bands on and makes like a Spotify playlist, and at a certain time everyone has to listen to the Spotify playlist the same as him. Like when at that time you click play, then it runs through, and then when your song's on, you tweet about the song, saying like when you wrote it, how you wrote it, and this, that, and that. And all these other bands are like, hey, they'll follow you, they'll share your music.
It's like a web, and
that way it helped massively for us.
That's cool.
You know, like through lockdown, like we had to see a lot of time lockdown because we couldn't gig. It was a bit of like a halt, but for us it was like, because it leveled the playing field a little bit with everyone, so like, no one was gigging, so you had to like get amongst it like on social media, and that did help us a little bit in a weird way, but
it improves your social media skills as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely, for me especially, because like when I'm like on there, like, I felt a bit like, I don't know, I felt a bit like forward, kind of like messaging people and asking people, and like, oh, can you share this, can you do that, and like without asking like, you know, what do you want me to do in return. It was just like, oh, will you do us a favour, even though I don't know you're an absolute stranger on social media. But then people were. So it was like from the kindness. I mean, there's a I don't know if you've heard of Shiner Sam, who's called Sam Shiner on Twitter. She's got quite a lot, like few thousand, well, I've seen a few thousand, like 40,000 followers. But she's like proper promoting new music all the time, so she helped us out massively as well. Yeah. So it was good though. She helped us out massively.
Twitter's probably the best scene for new music, I would say. Out of all the other social medias, Twitter's the best for any up and coming band. Yeah. Don't know what it is. There's loads of people.
It's like a big boom with it.
Yeah, it's mad.
We'll have to use Twitter again.
Yeah, we'll have to get into
Just scroll it for transfer news, me.
Honestly, it's Twitter's. It is the, like, if you get in the right community where you get the right followers and they tend to follow you back as well. That's the thing. Yeah. Like for you, even for you as well. Like if they hear like you're like on Twitter, if they, like the music community at the moment from upcoming bands, and they hear like you're doing this, you know, they'll get on it straight away and kind of share it. So definitely, I would recommend it. Like
the thing as well, it's I think what I think this guy's doing is he's basically sharing. It's like, I've got this new song out, give it a listen. Yeah. But like the minute you do that, it's so saturated. People just scroll past. They don't really care. That's what you've got to like. What I've imagine you've been doing is physically getting in contact with people, or can you do this? And if you're actually physically engaging with people, it gives yourself more of like a personal relationship with whoever's you want to.
I think we're all guilty of it. If I'm on Twitter, just scroll. Or Facebook, you see stuff that's don't even.
The stuff I'd be interested in listening to and stuff like that. But if I just see it advertised, I'll not click it. I'll go. But if the message is saying, "Oh, I've got this new song out, do you fancy giving it a listen?" I'll go, "Oh, okay then." Yeah. It's just that's weird. Like
that's it. Like I mean, even when I've been out on the drink and stuff, and like I've been seeing like the people like talking about music. So I'm in the band myself. Thought, oh yeah. And I say like, oh, go on your Spotify or just add it to a playlist or add it to like whatever, like, you know, like, or follow us and kind of thing. And a few days later, they've obviously went on Spotify on their way to work or something, and I get a message off them like saying, oh, I've just listened, I forgot about the other night when you said about that, I'm listening to music, I'm a massive fan. Next thing you know, they're at a gig. Yeah. And next thing you know, they're sharing their music, so it's kind of like word of mouth as well as like social media. Plus we're like gigs. To talk about like
play gigs.
Gigs is
I bet he's just sticking something on in there and going, oh, that's a mint, everyone's going to listen to it now.
Yeah. Gigs it like.
Not playing gigs or anything.
That's it. Like, I mean, you're always going to be biased for your own song because you wrote that, you thought it's good enough to release. So like when you're listening, you're going to think it's class. But then like, you know, you've got to market it yourself to a point where you need to like be your own biggest fan. Like, like if you don't love yourself, then no one will, kind of thing.
It's not just going to come along straight away. There's like build it up. You play loads of local gigs and that.
Organic growth's really difficult, like, and especially now as well, because it's a bit of a difficult competition. Because not competition, but like a difficult market because there's so many new upcoming bands coming up at the minute who are really good. Where if you think you're just going to release a song and then think that's going to like get you to make it, then it's, you know, it's not that easy. Like
that's why we try and do this. It's kind of like, rather than it looking as like a competition of you against people, it's like, well, let's everyone get together and build each other up.
That's the best way. Like I think it should be a community rather than a competition. Definitely.
I know when I first started, it felt like a competition. Like all the other bands were all against each, and that's why the scene never grew. Like early 2010s.
That's it, exactly.
That's why I like Southern Calling. There's loads of Southern bands.
Everyone supporting each other.
It was good crack backstage. All the bands there, having a couple of beers.
Good. That's cool.
It was a good laugh.
That was good. Like even that Tommy Smith, he tweeted us like a couple of days after we played our set at Southern Calling. He was one of the headliners. He's local as well. Yeah. He tweeted us saying just listen to the like, and then tagged us like at the Voyd official on Twitter on the back of their set. From Southern Calling, and we thought that was pretty cool. That's like over 10,000 followers. So just kind of little things like that goes along here.
That's really cool. That.
Yeah, it's kind of a little endorsement and all from Tommy Smith.
We've got a final section on part one, then we'll take a quick break. We've got a new section called Up and Personal, and it's just where we're going to ask you what the most personal song is that you've written / recorded or released or whatever, and what it's about. So what your most personal song as a band is.
Me, I mean, I'm speaking for the band here. Like me personally, I would say "Hear Me Calling." That's probably one of me. That's a personal one. For me, my mum passed away last year, and she never got to hear it. That was like the main thing for me. Right. So I wrote that song probably about 4 years ago, and I was just in my room in my parents' house, and I wrote it and sang it. And then my mum came in and she was like, "Can you sing it on again?" So I sang it and she started crying. She says, "That's the best song you've wrote so far. That's my favourite." But at the time when we were releasing like certain songs, like we were doing like songs like Fallen Empire and Stink Alone, and they're a bit more upbeat, so and they were getting good traction on social media, so we kind of like put it, I put it on the back burner kind of thing with the lads, because we were doing like all these other ones that were upbeat, and this one was a bit more of a slow one. So I got to a point where it was like I think it was in start of last year. And I said to him, I was like, look, I'm gonna record that song. Like, with him, she's like, oh, you took your time with it. Yeah. So, but it was a bit shit because she never got to hear it. Like, so it annoyed us a little bit when we got the final recording back. So for me, because of that situation, that's probably I would say that's probably the most personal one to me. Like, so, but it was class though, because when we played it at Independent, when we played on the 20th of May, and there's a part where like kind of all the instruments died down, which is me singing with my guitar. And I started singing it, and I stand back on the microphone, and the whole crowd sang it back. Didn't sing a single word of it, like cool. In the last chorus. It was class.
Really, that's the biggest compliment in it. It's like
it was good, like it was really good. Probably lumped me through a kind of moment, like oh.
Oh, really good.
It was class though, really good, definitely.
Nice. That sounds really nice.
Yeah, it was good.
We'll call that part one.
I like that question actually.
We'll jump back.
Hang on.
The next bit.
Yep. So yeah, we're going to take a short break, and we will be back. I'm going to do this. That way. There we go.
Excuse me.
Right, are we ready?
We're back, baby!
I love that. And welcome back to side 2. What have we got in store?
That was energetic.
I know, well, you know, it's this
feel like
sour,
I
it's
up
like
my game.
sugar,
I know.
Banana pint.
But potassium's kicking in.
It's part of me 5 a day.
So last week we had... Who did we have last week? It was Tired of Fighting.
Tired, Blame Yourself.
We had Blame Yourself from last week, which is 2 bands basically. Tired of Fighting and Blame Yourself. And they asked us 3 questions to ask you guys, and then we're going to get you guys to ask 3 questions for next week. Question 1 is, what's the worst film you've ever seen?
Oh, God, that's a good question, actually.
Yeah. I watched a really bad one recently, like Cocaine Bear.
I've heard that's supposed to be like shit but good.
It was you either hate it or you love it.
Yeah. It had its moments, but it was the most ridiculously stupid film I've heard.
I just wonder where they come up with that kind of shit. Hang on,
it's a real story.
Is it really?
Cocaine Field Bear.
Have a guess what country it was based in.
Russia.
No.
America.
Yeah.
It's either going to be one or the other, isn't it, really?
Oh, yeah, I've not seen that one yet.
I wouldn't. To be fair, it's one of them that
you could put in the background, but you wouldn't pay to go to the cinema to.
I watched a bad one called Black Demon recently.
Oh, is that the shark?
About a black shark that's been summoned by a load of Mexicans.
Alright.
I've got about a quarter to watch, but I'm probably not going to watch it. It's that bad. Yeah. It's just mad. It's weird. Can't really explain.
I was going to watch that.
The Meg, that's kind of bad.
What?
The Meg with Jason Statham. You like that?
Oh, yeah.
He's like that with a shark.
Yeah.
Like a megalodon shark. What's he going to do? Like, flick its nose, get away from us.
Can't think of any films I've watched recently.
Some of the
terrible.
You've seen some bad.
I haven't seen that many bad films. Avoid them.
Now the thing is though, if I'm terrible with films because I'll watch a film and then it'll be like 10 minutes into it, it'll be like, this is shit, let's turn it off. So I never actually watch it all the way through and go, that was a shit film.
Yeah.
Because it might be a good film, I say like a title of a film and then like, oh, that's a mid film, you should have given it some time.
Yeah. No, I get like that. I can get quite easily distracted.
I see.
I think a bad film, I've recently watched Quiet Place 2. It wasn't as good as the first one.
Oh, I've seen that one.
I didn't, you know what, I didn't mind that, but honestly, because I watched it in complete silence with my wife, and so when the credits came on at the end, I was thinking, it's not bad. Well, that was shit. That's all she said. That was just fucking boring. I was like, pointless. But I was, it was a bit pointless. Like it was, but.
The first one was pretty good, but the second one just didn't make any sense, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I started watching that TV show called From. Have you heard of it or not?
No.
By the makers of Lost. Have you heard of Lost before?
I've heard, I've not seen it though.
It was it started off mint. Like, my dad told us to watch it, so I thought, so I kind of watched it. The idea behind it was class. And I got like episode 7, episode 8. I was like, this is absolutely shit. I remember I was like sitting talking through the whole episode, and like it was like, it's just not good at all. Like,
oh, I hate when you can't get into a series. Like, I've been totally getting the Peaky Blinders, and I've watched the first season like 3 times over, and I kind of
Yeah, I've seen.
I'm
exactly
the same. I can't get into it.
I watched them all. Like I think we've got a bit like where the Italian mob come over, like the mafia, and like that was pretty good. But then it's just the same thing over and over, really. But with different
people.
It's quite repetitive. That's the thing. Like it's like, oh, now it's the Russian, and they've got to somehow.
Close a bit, like, isn't it?
It's like I got massive into Breaking Bad, and I've watched that like twice over. Really good.
I've watched it twice as well.
And I struggled to get into Better Call Saul after that.
Oh, did you? I thought it was class.
I haven't watched the latest season. I thought.
That's it. Like my dad's put on, and he's probably like season 3 or wherever he's up to. Or something. And I got like into one episode. I was like, this is really good. Tried to get back to the first scene. I was like, I can't get back. I don't know what it is.
And it's like when it gets like season 3, season 4. It starts showing you like how certain things were made and done from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So like it explains it all, and it gets. There's one point where like I thought like from probably season 4 to season 5, I think it is, that it gets like better than Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It gets more like you should
have to try and really sit in it.
I can't recommend it.
Just the first part, I'm like, just struggle to focus on it.
It does get a bit slow. Yeah, I know what you mean. Won't ruin it.
Second question: do you brush your teeth before or after breakfast?
After.
Thank you. That was my answer last week, and I got to offer it.
I was supposed to research. I was supposed to Google this, but I'm sure there was some dentist on TikTok or something like that said, "Oh, you should brush your teeth before because it's the fluoride and stuff that gives it the protection." Because if you
makes sense.
if you eat the breakfast, then it's all going into your teeth and stuff like that, and then you're brushing away all the thing afterwards.
Well, he's a pharmacist. He's a manager of a pharmacist.
Oh,
so he's a man to ask.
So it's actually a relevant question.
Good at dentist.
Yeah, phone a friend.
You know, a pharmacist.
I brush it before breakfast.
But I
don't need breakfast till I get to work.
Yeah, okay. So you got a bit of time in it.
Well, I'm the same.
The problem is I brush my teeth, have a shower, get ready. I'm from waking up and getting out of bed, I'm out the house within 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I do because I have to, but if I had a choice, like on my day off, I'd get up and I'd have some breakfast and then I'd brush my teeth while I'm getting ready and showered.
Couldn't have like mini toast, you know?
Yeah, that's it.
My off-put.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't have toast before brushing your teeth because it'd be like minty toast, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's just not, it wouldn't make sense.
And then after you're like, well, you've brushed your teeth and now you've got shite in your teeth.
Yeah,
you just
wanna, teeth,
oh yeah.
It's nice and fresh, then you have a cup of coffee and your breath fucking stink.
Yeah.
It's one of life's great problems.
I know, right?
First world problem.
It's a hard problem, isn't it? Oh, red nose day to fix this. What's a third final question? What's the most beautiful lyric that you've ever heard or that you've written?
We should ask these beforehand so we don't have to think of them because
Perfect daily read, definitely.
Oh,
perfect daily read.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sung until I die.
That's what it gets.
It's
Just top out of it.
I don't know actually.
But you're the best lyric you've wrote is?
Oos.
Who's fallen empire? I don't know. Because I think I would say my personal favourite lyric that I've wrote is "Don't be fooled, my friend." I can't remember actually. Don't be fooled, my friend. Her bank account's in minus, but she still wants to be addressed as your Royal Highness. That's my favourite lyric.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
That's my favourite lyric that I've wrote. Beautiful lyric. Oos, definitely oos. I don't know. I've really got beautiful lyrics like.
I'd say it's in Hear Me Calling, really like.
Hear Me Calling.
So it's more like what sort of song, isn't it?
But it's because it's a very melodic song, so it sounds better.
Yeah. Tend to find the better lyrics in the slower songs, don't you, as well?
Yeah. It kind of matches, doesn't it? You kind of miss
it's
almost like if it's like a fun upbeat song, like a good meaningful lyrics almost wasted in it. It's like
I like a lyric. Do you keep the receipts for the friends that you buy? It's only bittersweet, but we're just getting by Oasis. What's on that again? Where did it all go wrong?
Yeah, that's one more Gallagher sings, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Like,
yeah,
I like that one.
Oh, that's cool. You can say something?
No, I was thinking. I nearly had a question. I was like, I've completely lost.
Plenty of them, James. So when we get you guys on, we always advertise on Instagram stories to say this is the band we've got on. What questions you got?
Yeah.
So we've got from @elevate_98. How did you come up with the band's name? It's very catchy.
Just try all the different ones.
I can remember it, to be fair. So we actually used to be called the Zone, which we thought we were like, this is like One Direction kind of stuff.
Hey guys, we're the Zone.
We used to rehearse at the bunker. In the boat. Every time we used to bring in like boot in, they were like, oh, what's your band name? It's like Zone. So like, we make it changes.
Rolling.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. We went through a phase we were called Rolling, like without the G.
Okay.
Then we're like, it's Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So
like,
a bit like, we're like, I don't know. And I remember it was outside the Watsons actually that minute when we were going out one night. Well, I think we were like through Newcastle or something. I went outside for a tab, and then someone just came out and he was like, I thought of a name for the band because we've been like a big thing in the band. Like we needed like a new name. He's like, I thought of a new name, the Voyd, but spell it with a Y. I was like, the Voyd. I thought that's good. That I like that, and it just stuck.
Yeah,
nice. So, it was good. So credit to him.
It's like,
well done, the work.
Eventually the band names just doesn't mean anything, does it? It's just like what people think of it.
I know you can think a lot, like you can really kind of try and think as much as possible to get the best ever band name ever, but essentially it's your music that defines you. It's got nothing to do with your name.
There's some strange band names.
But yeah, the Voyd is definitely better than the Zone.
The Zone with an E.
Let's do a Twitter poll.
We got at Bouquet of Thorns. How long did it take you to write, rehearse, and ultimately release Dancing in the Rain?
A pretty quick one.
It was a quick one because like I'd had the chorus for like another one I had for like ages, like 3-4 years, maybe just before lockdown. I think it was like end of 2019 when I came up with the chorus, like melody to it, lyrics and that, and it didn't take that long at all. It just fell out of nowhere. And I used to play it, but we used to do it like completely differently. Like me and Ali, like when we used to play it, like Ali used to, what was it? What we used to call just in the rain, didn't we? And we used to,
In the Rain.
we said,
So it was just me and you, wasn't it?
Just do it in the rain. I mean, Ali like in the rehearsal room. I used to play a completely different like tone on my guitar, like open chords kind of thing. And then we kind of just we shifted it all about and we wanted to actually do it because we thought like this is actually a really catchy song. And then the riff came out of nowhere, like and then intro and outro. Then Summers had made up the solo, and then we just all put everything together, like working out how we're going to play like, the rhythm guitar as well as the lead, drums, everything like that, like all the structure of the song. Just like I think it wasn't when we rehearsed it wasn't that long, was it? Like we didn't.
No,
like,
the transition from when we got it to like right, that's good enough to go straight record.
Wasn't that long at all. Probably like a couple of weeks if that. And that's we all work full-time jobs, so if we're doing the band full-time, probably would have took us 2 days, I imagine. Condensing it all down.
I think it's good that we've put like the recording in when it wasn't fully finished, so like we had to finish it by a certain day.
That was it.
Best.
Like I hadn't finished the solo not until like the day before, so we were like, oh, this will be it.
We had an idea of like what was going to sound like, and we had like the song basically finished, but we also like weren't like 100% on it. So then we're like, right, we'll go and record. The only thing that delayed us, like from when we finished it to recording, was actually getting booked into the recording studio.
Oh yeah.
Because like the lad who we record with, he's always like quite busy. She's really good. So that was like the delay in it. Because if we could have recorded like the day after, we would have probably been able to go in and probably do it like as such. Because they say like what someone was saying there, like it would give us a deadline to like make our minds up and probably like get the graft with it. So it was probably one of the quickest ones that we've recorded, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, cool. At Shelley Robinson _X says, how much do you love your fans?
Yeah, of course I do. To be fair, I mean, you know, I know it's a very cliche thing to say, but any band would be nowhere without a fan. So, you know, it goes without saying. It's like
you know, 4 listens on Spotify.
Shout out to the other guy.
Put his wave out there and would be on Reddit complaining.
Deleting your account, nobody's reading your comments.
That's it, exactly. But no, it's like the fans are the 5th member of the band. Really, you know, it's like you put gigs on, and if no one's there, it's like, well, what's like sometimes you think, well, what's the point of even doing it? So when the fans do come up, it's like even just friends and family and that, and I think like they're not just like there just to support us as because you're friends and family, but just like bodies being in the room and people enjoying our music and paying like a hard money to come and see us means. Can't even put into words really, like how much it means to us, especially when you stand in the room and like people, like you put so much graft into a song, and then people are coming back and like and singing your songs back to you and saying how much they like you and paying them like taking their time out like their Saturday night and paying their money to come and see you means the world. So we love them all.
it's part of the energy as well. Like you play a gig, say you play a gig to like 2 or 3 people, and you just there's no atmosphere at all. It's
we've been there as well. Like we've done a gig before where it was just like it was like only the other bands who were like on like after us were there, and like a few of their mates. So it was quite a big room as well. So it was a bit of a heavy gig, but we still just went on and just done what we would do, even because we were thinking like, well, these people in this band don't know, so they might become fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's it.
So
yeah,
it worked. So you got to put your all into it. You know what I mean?
There was a story of I'm sure it was Sting and the Police who, I'm sure they went to well, they did like a little American tour before they were like famous, and there was a particular gig where basically there was a big room, but there was like 2 people in the room.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's like, is there any points? And it's like, you know what, we'll play our hearts out, these 2 people came and says, well, one of the people were like the local radio DJ.
Yeah.
So it's like, I really like your stuff. So they got played, every little thing she does is magic.
Yeah.
And that got circulated. So, you just never know.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, you're putting the graft into rehearsal, you might as well just do what you've been rehearsing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a free rehearsal.
Yeah. That's what he said before.
At Mrs. Berry Insta. She changed her Instagram.
She must have changed her Instagram, huh?
James's wife. What's your favourite song from the 2000s?
From the Ritz to the Rubble.
Oh, you stole mine.
From the Ritz to the Rubble by Arctic Monkeys, that's probably mine, like.
I can't have that one now. Like going down the line, like rethink that.
It'd probably just be like Arctic Monkeys' first album or something. Probably.
Yeah, sort of.
I like the Heart in a Cage by the Strokes.
Oh,
that's a good one. One of my favourite ones from the 90s.
First CD I bought was Chico Time.
Chuck
that in there.
You ever find yourself down and someone goes, what's the time? You go, Chico Time.
Yeah, in your head. End up singing the rest of it in your head, like, can't see the rest.
Cheeky Girls.
Sure, it was like was it 2000. That would have been 2004. I'm sure it was 2004, 2005. Arctic Monkeys played the Manor Key down at the Quayside. It was like £4.50 a ticket, and everybody knew all the songs because they were one of the first like MySpace bands where they kind of went viral online because everyone just illegally downloaded the songs and everybody knew each song. But like they started I think it was I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor just came out, but obviously they already had the gigs booked and stuff, thinking they were just going to be a standard like pub band, £4.50 a ticket. It's just like everyone. So they just used to. They kept the gigs, which was quite cool of them, because they could have cancelled the gigs and then they could have played bigger venues, charged £20 a ticket. But that's gig £4.50.
That's good.
I didn't go.
Oh.
My mates went.
£20
My mates went, and my mates like, oh, this is like. Honestly, these guys would be like headlining Glastonbury. It's like bullshit. You're not gonna. Someone from the Manor Key is saying they're gonna head. Well, yeah.
19 years later.
Like,
twice or 3 times.
Sure, so.
At Ashley.reckless, my missus. What's a top tier breakfast order?
Eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict.
The McFrog. It's got to be, so basically it's not actually a frog, by the way. So you get it, so you order a double sausage and egg muffin from McDonald's, right? But you customise it. You take the egg off, you add an extra patty and an extra slice of cheese. So it's a triple sausage, double cheese McMuffin from McDonald's.
Pretty good, man.
It's an absolute heart attack, but it's amazing.
You get a few chest pains by the end.
Triple cheeseburger, basically, isn't it?
I take that, basically triple sausage, double cheese McMuffin. Yeah, it's unbelievable, like.
Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, Eggs Benedict. It's 3 against 1 of you, like
that. I'm going to stick with me triple cheese.
Just feel big after it though.
Yeah. You get a come down off it, like.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Heartburn and everything. Last bit before we go to the next break. Next week we've got the tides. I'm sure they're just even the tides.
Well, I don't, because I'm sure I don't know if they're like a. You know what? I should like listen to them. But I usually listen to them before I get them on. I tend to listen to them, but I'll have to ask them. Is it because I know it's like if they're like an emo band. I know they're like a lot of emo bands like to have them be like obscure names like that. So
tune in next week to find out, guys.
So it might be even the tides.
But we got these guys on next week. We just need 3 questions for next week's guest.
Are they from Sunderland? I don't know.
James' other bookings.
Pass.
Where are you from?
How do you spell your name? Where are you from? No,
I've got one. After 3, everyone say your favourite band member's name. I'll start a few.
Yeah.
That's a good one, that.
They're not going to be a band very long after that, are they?
Yeah, that's alright. We've seen many fall out in this podcast.
We've already brought one band up on this podcast. So.
It's funny that was.
It was actually.
It's always a great section for like the audio listeners.
I know, it's like always like.
Does it have to be music? Or
No, that can be anything.
Did
like
you watch
last
the Voyd podcast? And the second question, why not?
In their defence, your episode will come out the day after we get them on the podcast.
Oh, well, I'll let them off then. No. It's a good one, that though, it's got his.
But no, it doesn't have to be music. So obviously you guys had like worst film and brushing your teeth kind of thing from last week's.
Do you put your...
Don't know if we want you to finish that sentence.
No. About making a cup of coffee.
Yes, actually, give us your walkthrough of how you make a cup of tea.
Yeah.
You can always it's a good judge of character and how someone makes a cup of tea.
Step-by-step process. So some pedos out there put milk in before the bottle.
Well, those. I'm sure
People actually put milk in before the water.
There'll be some.
I've seen this horrid. I don't know if they were like deliberately trolling, but there was like these Americans making a cup of tea and they put them in the microwave.
I've seen that.
I was just like, what?
I've seen that.
Make a traditional English tea. It's like that's nothing traditional or English about that, mate. So honestly.
Final question. We'll take a break.
I can't remember.
Do you wear socks for bed? And if not, why?
Okay.
You wear
socks for bed?
You wear socks for bed?
Wow, let's keep something good.
That's fucking weird.
The question should be, why do you wear socks for bed?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like
every night.
Not like
I accidentally do it from two places. What do you mean?
Yeah, you like your pants halfway down your ankles.
I feel like when I'm in bed, I get like if I'm getting sweaty, my feet get sweaty, then they get stuck to the quilt and it's like proper uncomfortable. With socks, is one of the problems. Just fabric on fabric, and it's just smooth. Anyway,
I'm normally the controversial one.
Can we edit stuff out?
No, this is going viral. Voyd sleep with socks on. Yeah, we'll see you in part 3.
Yeah, that one.
I do in the winter sometimes, but the cameras off.
Pappy's made up there, man.
3, 2, 1. We're back in the room.
We're back, baby!
And welcome back to side 3. So what have we got?
That was less energetic.
I know, well, I've run out of beer, that's why.
I know. Well, I'll do it. If you want to go get a drink, I'll give you some. Give you a wallet.
It's alright, it's alright.
You sure?
Yeah.
I should have offered him a drink. I've been so spaced out today, it's unbelievable.
Being overworked.
Part 3, it's just kind of like talking about what you guys have got coming up. As I say, this episode's out on the 25th of July.
Yeah.
Have you got any songs, any shows that people are able to attend or download?
Yeah, so we've got a gig coming up. Well, I think people might not be able to attend now because it's sold out, but we're playing a local pub called the Cambridge. We're playing that. It's for charity as well, so cool. All revenue from ticket sales goes to charity. Sold 120 tickets, so that's £10 tickets, £1,300, all raised to charity. Brilliant. It's a local one as well, so it goes to Monkley Mouth Hospital, which is on Newcastle Road in Sunderland. Yeah. So all donations are going to go to that. So that's main summers are playing an acoustic set there. Going to be doing some Voyd tunes, hopefully some covers as well, but it should be a good evening.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. All for good cause as well, so.
Yeah. Is that like the capacity's full out? Is there no chance like any extra?
So, yes.
Honestly, I'd be surprised because I live like 30 seconds down the road from the Cambridge. I'd be surprised if you can fit 120 people.
Yeah, no,
unless they're wanting to do like upstairs, they've got like a room upstairs or anything, haven't they?
The back room where the pool table is, the moving pool table out the way, and we're going to be in there. So
that'll fit next to 6 people.
It's tiny, isn't it? It's really small.
So come stand outside of the room.
So if you're listening, get down early because you might be able to get in now.
Yeah.
Well, you look because they've got like there's almost, it's not like a beer garden or anything, but it's like a little area that
like,
you could do.
It's probably it's about like you go outside and you've got like a normal like beer garden bench and then room to get out from the bench to go to the toilet. And for that, like that's all they've got. So, no, but it's a good pub though. It's really good. Like since it's been taken over, it's been a lot better. Like a lot better like draft, like drinks on draft and things like that. So
I need to go back again. Like the last time I went, it was like it was a bit of a funny because like it was me and my wife who walked in. You know, like whenever you get like the things if you're watching like a Wild West movie and some of the saloon players playing like the piano and then everyone's like looks at you. That's kind of what I had. I was like,
I used that term earlier on for a different pub, a saloon.
It's something. But although to be fair, the next couple of times I went in, they were all like weird, but they were just a bit like funny. But I've heard good things about the people who've taken over.
Yeah, they're spot on. Like they run it really well. For the start, the toilets smell a lot better than what they used to.
I imagine.
The terrible toilets before they took over, but they've got it all like probably renovated and stuff. So it's a lot better now. Better pints on draft and stuff, and just it seems like there's like a bit of a community kind of thing in there. Like it's a well-run pub, so definitely that's when Vicky, who owns it as well as her husband, they both got in touch with us and asked us if we want to play. So I've played there before as well. I've done like an acoustic set. And it was good. It was good crack. It was like there was quite a lot of people there, and it was just a good like little piss up. But so it was good.
Yeah, really good. Have you got any songs that are due to come out anytime soon, or any recent releases you want to kind of plug?
A few, to be fair. It's all at the minute. It's like not recorded and ready to release, but we've been like, I mean, Summers has been writing some songs.
Like really good and recently. Like.
Yeah, it's like
I can't remember the name of it, but it's good. I know the sounds like, but I can't remember the name.
I think we're going to try and do like an EP because we've never done an EP.
Yeah,
cool.
But it's like
4 tracks, isn't it?
Getting in recording 4 tracks. It's going to cost more and it's going to take longer.
That's the problem.
So usually we'll just go in, do one, release it, go in, do one, release it. But
so as long as people are patient with us.
I think it makes sense to do like a little EP now, like 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah.
I think as well it was like, I mean, it's about like the tracks that he's been showing us that he's been writing. It's really really good where it could like easily sit on like a nice like proper like, acoustic EP kind of thing. Not acoustic, but like a little bit slower than our like usual approach. But like more like melodic sing along kind of thing. But I think a lot of people are going to come out used to sing along our tunes anyway, where it would fit in nicely in the set list.
Yeah, it's like halfway like towards the end.
I mean, I've wrote one. He's wrote like 3 or 4, and they're, like they all sound very like not similar, but like they all like look like sit well with each other on like an EP. So definitely. So that would probably be our next approach, hopefully, anyway.
Yeah. But I was going to say, if you've got any specific recent songs, one of the questions James likes to ask. Go on, James.
Oh, like where did you record it? I'm sure you've answered that already, haven't you? Like, what's your latest single that's out?
Dancing in the Rain.
Dancing in the Rain.
It's the latest one.
We recorded that at Garage Studios in South Shields.
Oh yeah.
That's
decent.
Yeah. So we've recorded all of our ones since 2020.
If you listen to one of our songs, like that's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be recorded.
Good. Yeah. It's a decent little studio.
He's a good lad as well. He's probably nice lad.
You sound. It's like for the money that you pay and the quality that you get back, it's like definitely worth it. You know what I mean? So
I was going to say I did a show reel there a long time ago now.
That was Yellowstone.
That was Yellowstone, aye. Yeah. But it always good prices, just like, but the sound quality was spot on, you know. Like it's, you kind of go on there.
Really good. A lot of people said like it's like, but like the quality of the songs, like wherever you've been recording. There's a lot of bands who like will follow us and then like maybe it's like out and about or like see them or like ask about it and then like next thing you know like the recording there. So it's always a good sign. You know. It's good for business as well. It's good for business for him because like he's a good lad and he's obviously good at his job and he's been doing it for ages. He's in the band himself as well, so he's like very clued up on exactly what it should be like when you're recording the song, which is always off the battle for us as well.
He kind of knows kind of how things should sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think I suppose off the battle with like producers and stuff like that. It's if you've got to trust them to make sure that they have your best interest and best sound at heart. But sometimes it's hard to find because it's honestly like the difference a producer can make, and you can record exactly the same thing, but if you've got a producer who's not quite sure how you want to sound, like the songs can sound completely different.
Yeah, exactly. It was mad though, because like the first time I recorded with Carl, we didn't expect like the sound to come back the way it did sound. So like it kind of did that, what you said, but in a beneficial way. So it was like, you know, so yeah, it can go on with Lua definitely. I think Oasis did that before, didn't they? When they recorded Definitely Maybe. I think the only record. I mean, Google this, I might be wrong, like so don't hold us to it, but I'm pretty sure I'm right with it. But the only track out of Definitely Maybe that wasn't recorded at the same place as all the other tracks was Slide Away. Was that right? I'm sure Slide Away was the only one that made it on the album that was recorded at different recording studio, because the producer wasn't quite getting the tunes right, but he got Slide Away right and all the other ones were recorded somewhere else. I'm pretty sure I'm that one. Like.
You might be right there. The thing, like, it's one thing I liked about the Oasis things, like all the songs were like completely like in your face.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
We kind of went for that.
Just everything just like in your face all at once.
Like turn everything up to the max.
Yeah.
And just have it like definitely. Because when you're drunk as well, like that's what you want to hear when you're pissed in the crowd, and you want to be able to sing along and bounce about, like so that's the kind of like tone we went for.
It needs to sound loud, even if you're on a quiet volume.
Exactly, hence the term oos, you know, in tune for the Empire.
One of the new ones we've got on here is for you guys to recommend a local artist. Just to give them a shout out, somebody else to go check out and follow.
Doc Sons,
good lads.
They're really good lads, like Doc Sons. It's DOCKSUNS.
Yeah,
they're really good lads. Like they've gigged with us like quite a lot now. They tend to be our go-to like when we're doing local gigs, like mean support and stuff. So they're really good lads.
I quite like that Vanderbilt, what is it called?
Vanderbilt as well.
Vanderbilt. I'd never heard a single song by them, and then seeing Southern Calling,
they're really good.
Really impressed by them.
They're good funky, aren't they?
Very funky. Them and Doxons are probably the two I like.
Tommy Smith as well, obviously, but I don't even recommend him because 9 times out of 10 people who listen to this will probably know him already because he's getting out there. He's doing really well at the moment. So up and coming, obviously, Doxons and Vanderbilt.
I quite liked them Camel Island, I think they're called.
You know, yeah.
They're one of my favourites. Like,
well, they played independent the day before we did, so they played on the 19th of May and we played on the 20th of May. So they played on the Friday and played on the Saturday. Because our name was on like the light thing that you put on. It was like Camel Island and then the Voyd, so it was like they were on there as well. You were saying about the cover that they did with Part Life, wasn't it?
Life. They played at the bunker on when I was like next door on Saturday, I think it was. I seen a video they did a cover of Part Life, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're decent. Like they do a lot of cover stuff and all. So they're all kind of shit out. There was what song did they do that I really like? Their cover song. Can't Stand Losing You. Can't Stand Losing You.
They've done Part Life as well, haven't they? We've seen some of this.
Just said it.
Yeah.
Get yourself these headsets on. So if people enjoyed this episode and wanted to follow you guys, what's your social media tags? How do they find you?
So our social media tags,
it's all just the Voyd official, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the at the Voyd official, obviously all word. VOYD.
You're widey. And then just because this is a really quick part, obviously we're going to get you guys to do a pub table session next. Which song are you going to play for us?
We're going to be playing Sleeping Alone.
Okay, is that already available now?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Cool. So thank you very much for coming down, guys.
Cheers,
thanks for having us.
Nice one, cheers.
Thank you very much. It's been really good, actually.
It's been good, really good.
I'm going to do a little clap.
Hey! We'll be on time one day, James.
I know, we'll do one of these days.
So for anybody watching this, please drop us a follow. We are at Off The Stage UK, Off The Stage 2 on Twitter, because somebody else stole that domain quickly. Go check out these guys, and thank you very much, Voyd, for coming down. We will see you in part 4 for a second time.
Thank you very much, and we'll see everyone else next week. Right, so.
I've seen the lads there when we're having a break, so I've done like a few interviews like different radio stations like Spark FM and stuff like that. This is definitely been my most favourite one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I guess maybe we made it. I knew from the start. So finish off your whiskey, 'cause I'm falling apart. And though I haven't got your number, I haven't got your name. To be with one another, you gotta go straight to my veins. Don't close your eyes, don't let me down. Don't close your eyes. Don't talk, I'm bored of all your lies. Don't walk the walk, I'll be with you tonight. How does it feel to be sleeping alone? Tell me, how does it feel to be sleeping alone? But when you've been drinking, you'll come next to me to pick me up and put me down in a place of ecstasy. Don't close your eyes, don't let me down. Don't close your eyes. And don't talk, I'm bored of all your lies. Don't walk the walk, I'll be with you tonight. How does it feel to be sleeping alone? And tell me, how does it feel to be sleeping alone?
Hi, I'm Ollie Myers, and you've been listening to Off the Stage podcast. Make sure you tune in next time.